Welcome to the second tutorial, and this tutorial will start the editing of Sonic DK to sorry uh, creating a level. First of all, I want to give you a warning. This record might lag a bit because first I have this video converter to convert the first video. So the Unreal Development Kit is quite heavy for me because my computer is not the godlike computer. It's just a laptop with the i3 core without any not any Nvidia or AT Radeon. Uh, However, that's fell. Okay. So I'm gonna wait a bit. Okay, click the UDK editor in your UDK directory in the start menu. It's gonna take a while, okay? Alright, it's not running yet. Still not running. Okay, let's check. Yeah, it's running here, but it hasn't showed up yet. No wonder. Okay, the usage is rising. I think it's gonna load now. Okay, at this point you might want to skip the long loading process because to me it's actually long enough, and you might get bored, so you might want to skip this loading process. Since my video editing software is not working right now, I can't cut this boring part, but let's make do with it. If you don't feel like waiting for too long, you can skip this video and go to the fun part where the loading process finished. So it's loading the packages. In the next video, I'm gonna have this UDK editor opened at the start, so you won't have to wait as long as this video. I'm just gonna show you I just showed you the process of opening this editor, so that's why I have to get the UDK working in this video. Sorry, get the UDK editor started. Alright. After a long wait, we finally got into the magical world that is the Unreal Engine. Okay, I think I was a bit too much here. Okay, so the first thing you might want to know for those who haven't used UDK, so the left click mouse button will move the camera. It can't rotate up and down. For rotation, it uses the right click, hold it like the left mouse button, and you can go as far. You can go too far. Just how the usual human head can turn. Yeah, you can turn backward. but it actually makes a nice interface, since you don't really want to go too far and have the screen upside down, you know. Also, you might want to click this. Never use the WASD for camera control, because at default you have this selected like this, and you can move the camera with the WASD, but I won't recommend it, because S is S and W is used for the editing, like S for static mesh and W to show the static mesh. Now I'm gonna disable this, so if I click W, the static mesh will disappear. It's really useful if we want to see the basics, so you won't be bothered by the amazing decoration that is possessed by the level. Okay, and the last control you might want to know is the if you left and right if you hold the left and right mouse button at the same time, it's gonna raise and lower the camera, and you can move it while and you can move it after you release the right mouse button. It's really a handy interface if you already got used to it. Okay, and now let's go to the viewport. There are a lot of modes here, like if you use wireframe, it's gonna go this in this view. Wireframe itself doesn't really do much. Almost no difference between brush wireframe and wireframe. But in brush wireframe, I usually use brush wireframe because if you use the if you have the non-static mesh, you will be bothered by the triangular surfaces. You get what I mean next time. Okay, the third one is the unlit mode. As you can see here, it's really dull, no lighting here. But if I use the lit mode, you'll get the bright sky, the bright floor, and the fancy shadow here, and the bright sun. Okay, don't look at it too much. You're gonna get burn in your eyes. It's like looking at right into the sun. Yep, I like this effect actually. But let's not be too amazed by the by this, because it's not really that amazing if you see some EDK built-in maps. I'm gonna show you a little bit, just to show you how your map will be when you're finished. Like this one maybe. Now this is really possible if you really work well with your map. You can achieve this kind of effect. Good luck with that. Actually, I haven't achieved the same effect, but I think it really is handy. Okay, now my computer lags a lot. Okay. Now, yeah, you might want to turn this on to see how the view in the game will be. Enable the game view mode, the G1 here, and you see how it really is the work of Epic Games Inc. Yep. It's not really the same doesn't really possess the same effect. Actually, this I haven't noticed. Now, if you really like this, you can achieve it with a lot of work. Actually, not really a lot of work. It's all the static mesh. It's really easy to use static mesh. You'll you will see. I will load this map when we get to the static mesh adding with static mesh creation. I'm not gonna show you this secret now. The secret of the beauty that is done in the by the Epic Games. You might want to achieve this if you really want a really good level. Although this doesn't have the same loop, you might want to um, ask someone who can model, or if you can model it yourself. You should add the loop yourself, because of course an FPS game like this doesn't have any loops, because it's not really, because FPS doesn't it's not like Sonic. You can't really go across the loops. If there is any game like that, it's really rare. Actually, I think there is no game like that. So let's go back to the midday lighting. I click the new, and it then click that midday template, and we go back to this map. Okay, so let's get started. First, I want to disable this game mode. Then I'm gonna click this and hit delete, and this delete too. Now, for starter, I'm gonna click the cube, and at this point, you can insert things like 1000, 1200, 1200, and maybe this is 10. But I won't recommend this number, because as you can see, initially it starts with something like this, 2056, and these numbers are in the power of 2, so like 2, 4, 8, 16, etc., until you reach the 256. So for the easy part, you want to multiply this number with 2, so 2256 times 2 equals 512, times 2 again 1004. I already memorized this number, so you can use the calculator program, because this number is really used in many things. Like in the static mesh, it usually has the 256 size. So let's punch the number 2004, and for the thickness we'll use 32. Now we got the floor, but not yet. There's no solidity in this floor, so let's add this floor. Click this, and you see the floor is actually created. Now you can right click and play from here. Oh my gosh, I already got Sonic here. At reality, I don't really know if you immediately play from here, you get a Sonic game. But hey, this video gives me a discovery, so I can go here, and if I fall off, I'm gonna die. So enough for that. So we got the floor, We got the lighting, but notice the. I'm gonna start again. I click play from here. Okay, you see the lighting needs to be rebuilt. Uh, you can ignore this for now, but at the end you want to rebuild this whole level because it's not calculated with it's not calculated yet, so there's no optimization. So if your level is very good, maybe rifle that last level we opened, it's gonna get laggy if you haven't rebuilt this, especially in the lit mode. In unlit mode it's really all the same, but when you open the lit mode and there's the lighting, you you really you're really gonna be slow in running the UDK. But let's not worry about this now. Let's add some things, maybe like a wall to keep our Sonic from falling out. So now let's empty this one first. Now you might want to click all assets first, and now let's click this, and you already got some decorations like this twist here. Hey, maybe you can use this. Let's ignore the wall first. Now let's see if I can. Alright, first you might want to load the static mesh, or you can right click, you can double click this. Alright, now you want this SJDK static mesh, and you got this, and you can this is done by left clicking and holding the mouse button in here. You can actually discover it yourself. It's not really complicated math. It's just clicking and blah 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 blah. And one thing you might want to notice is this drag grid. Let's click this and punch a very high number. See what happens when you drag this. It doesn't move, but it moves, but very far, too far maybe. So let's just click back again. This is useful if you want to put walls and you want them to connect with each other perfectly. So if I punch a lower number, it moves easily, but at very low distance, especially if you punch a number like 1. You can see here, but even more easier if you disable this. Look at this, like 1, but it's really not 1. There is no grid step. Okay, now you see this. Now you want to get Sonic moving to this loop, but let's give it a try. First, don't hit this button before you move the player start. This is the player start. Now we don't use this one. Delete that and go here, actor classes. If you don't have the content browser opened yet, sorry, it's too late. Open the content browser here and go to actor classes. Now drop this, collapse this SJDK and invisible, because player start is not really visible. Now click SJDK player, right click and add SJDK player start here, and position this. Sorry, I think I should use the grid snap. If you forget this, your walls not gonna connect with each other nicely. Now let's play this level. Now see what happens when I try to run Sonic here. Oh, it works nicely. Okay, that was a little bit error in running. I'm only using this first level. Okay, so I think there's an error. Yeah. There's a little error, maybe because I haven't rebuilt this and I haven't rebuilt this yet as well. So we rebuild this, right click and rebuild this. Now don't punch this yet because it's gonna be a long time. Even if you have this simple level, it's gonna take a long time. Now let's start again. In Sonic GDK, you might want to use a little bit helper so Sonic will still be running perfectly. So okay, so first use the SDK static mesh actor, because if you use the normal static mesh, I'm gonna convert this back to static mesh. Is the static mesh actor? See what happens. No matter how fast Sonic runs, he can never go upward like he did before. That's because the static mesh actor is handled, the looping is handled by the SGDK static mesh. Wait, the chart is up. Alright, so that's why you should use the SGDK one. So let's replace with SGDK static mesh. Now it's SGDK static mesh again. Now we'll play again. And we can run nicely upward. But if you don't run too fast, you're gonna jump off as well. Now let's right click and go to the properties. Okay. There's something I want to look here. I just want to make sure. Because look at this, no collision model. Will make you it usually makes your mesh not colliding, makes Sonic not colliding with this static mesh. But as you can see there, it collides perfectly. But if you're using this for non-Sonic GDK thing, you might get you might pass this thing as if it doesn't exist, just appears there and then whoop, you fall. Okay, so we got this. Now let's go back to creating the wall. Now this time we're gonna search things. Type wall. Gonna take while, and maybe you want to put this here. Okay, put this here and you get a nice wall. Click this to rotate the static mesh. It's all the reflex. I'm already used to this. Okay, so as you can see here, the grid snap moves the grid snap makes the wall fit nicely with the floor. Now let's duplicate this. The duplication. Here it is. Now let's fit this again, and here. There's a better way to duplicate this. So hold Control and it's really hard for me to use the two of my hands. So hold down Alt and drag this, and it will be copied automatically. So let's line this, and you'll see it doesn't really fit in, but that's because I left some spaces here. If I fit it here, it fits perfectly. So wait, what happened here? Did that? So like that. Click this, hold control, click this, and click this, hold Alt and drag this, and now let's see. It doesn't really look at this. You might want to rotate this, but I'm not gonna rotate this. I'm just gonna right click, transform, mirror x-axis, and there you go. Here you go. Look, this x-axis is here, y-axis here, z-axis here. So if you want to y-axis mirror y-axis, it's gonna go to mirror y-axis. It's really useful if you want to mirror things. So how did I do this? Sorry. So hold shift and drag this. Your camera will move along with the object. So we have this. Now let's try this out. Now we have some walls that blocks Sonic from falling. Although he can fall from here. But what we already have this. So we can use this and let Sonic falls. Notice I use the static mesh because, as we all know, Sonic won't be running on the wall like he did in the loop. We don't really need this static mesh from SGDK. So let's keep Sonic from falling from this place. Now let's move the red brush here and add again. Well, check it out. We got another level. But let's make this indoor. So I'm gonna split just to make sure it fits in nicely. Yes, wait, not that far. Just 512. Okay, perfect. So add this again, and let's edit the wall bit. You don't really need the static mesh to build a wall. You can actually use the brush itself. So you want to fit this perfectly. Let's get this back to 8. And for a better view, let's click this, and you see we have a top view that will make us easier to align this perfectly. So let's click again, and you'll see the front view. Notice I actually give this a little bit too far height. Punch 512. And notice I didn't actually align this up nicely, so I need a little bit less 512. You can actually insert a equation here. So every square decreases 8 here. Every square equals 8 units here. So to send this minus 8, and you see it adjusts the number to 596. So again, minus 8, it hasn't fitted nicely because this also this is edited center, from the center, not from the corner. So this 4 maybe, and this is also 4. So again, minus 8, and now we should have it fit in nicely, and it is. Just check, it is. Now let's check if it fits in nicely here. No, it doesn't. Let's add this. Now let's test this out for real. Now add this. See, it fits in nicely. Now shift, drag, fit here, fits in nicely. And we have a wall here. Now what if I want to, for example, extend this more? It's easy. Go to brush wireframe, and you see the added brush is became the created a blue brush here, blue square. Sorry, not blue square, blue what, cube, or I don't know. Anyway, let's click all these blue ones. Wait, I selected the sky, study mesh, interrupt actor actually. Now go to the geometry mode. You see the transparent walls here. Okay, microphone here. Okay, back to the matter at hand. Click this wall here, control hold, click this wall, and this wall, and this wall. Now adjust the grids, snap, and okay. Since I have this on, this one, auto updating BSP visualization, it already corrects the brush here, because if it isn't enabled, you will have to go here first, and this will cancel all the process of lighting rebuilding. So let's test this out. Notice how I mysteriously get killed. Let's check this. It's really, there's nothing wrong with the play start. It fits nicely in the floor. So the problem is the build geometry. Now let's check this. Now I spawned perfectly. So you still have to rebuild the geometry or you will end up like me. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to the second floor. See. Now I have another room here. And if I go here, I have another room here. So, well, I created a level, but it's not finished yet. I will still need to build all of this. The build all is the combination of build geometry with lighting and fats. It is processed not simultaneously, but first you build geometry, then lighting, then paths. So let's click this, and you might want to skip this again because this is longer than the last process. But first, you might want to replace this thing with a nice texture, like click material, deselect static mesh, uncheck material, uncheck static mesh, uncheck material, sorry, and use floor. And we have some nice floor here. Maybe this will do. Although maybe sadly we can't replace this. Let's see if we can replace this actually. So go to rendering, I click here and see if I can replace this. Well, I can replace this a little bit, but okay, let's make do with it. So you see the standard properties, that goes to static mesh, go to render static mesh component, rendering, and add this, then click this. Now to add this to the floor itself, hold shift, right, left click, and you get this. The same process also applies here. Now if you add something, like if you, for example, you have a material selected and you add a brush here, for example, let's go a bit far so it won't disturb the other. Let's see it yet. You will see it already applies the material. Let's Ctrl Z to undo, or you can click this. Now let's add the wall one or ceiling. Go to unlit mode so we can see the ceiling actually. Now maybe you want this one. Same process, shift and left click, and you get this. Now to adjust this perfectly, Control right click surface properties and click this alignment and apply. Now if you have several brushes here, you should use the planar mode so it will fit, the material will fit in nicely. If not, the same goes here. Apply planar. Now we should use the wall one. Type wall here. What's the nice thing to use here? We can use this one, replicating the last one used there. Maybe does it fit in nicely? More or less. Let's leave it this way. It also would be nice if he, for example, like same process with the static, like the static mesh, control and click, shift left click to get this. Maybe this too. Yep. And maybe this one too. We get a very basic level here. Planner again. Yeah, now we don't see the Don't see the squares one. Like after we sometimes it's very hard to click. Sometimes it's very easy to misclick the surfaces. Same process, shift left click, and see, it doesn't fit in nicely. So how to do it? Like I said, planner, apply, and now look at this. Now we have a wall that fits in nicely. Maybe we want this too. And planner again, planner again, planner again, and for the top, maybe we want this one, or maybe we can put floor, and maybe we can use this as first we click this, and then we can add some static mesh here, like this deco, not the deco from Sonic X, of course. Now you can add several things here, like if you want this, and it's created in the wrong way. So S click, hold S and left click, and it doesn't really create it in the right way. That's because let's close this one, close this as well. That's because I created this in with 512 grid snap. So with the 16, now it's better. Now maybe I want to look this. We don't really need this first, but you can add this if you really want to relatively fancy. Hey, you can create a sound cover that is very good looking, just, or maybe very simple like the one provided, but hey, I really like the good looking ones. So grid snap adjusting like 54. Now I get a really nice roof here. Mirror axis, and nothing happens because I mirrored it in the wrong axis, x-axis. Now I get the right one. And just grid snap. Really a repetitive process here. Alt and duplicate, alt and drag, and my computer will like a bit. No, it's not lagging. It's sometimes it happens to my computer. My mouse immediately stops. Now, if you have same static mesh but a lot of them, you can save your time by right click, select matching static mesh. It will select all the static mesh in the same level with the same form like this one, but really have to be careful. You don't want to select one that is way off the position. So you can control click. Now drag this again. Like I said, it's a repetitive process. Oh, and you can hold control, right click, it will move to x-axis. If you left click, it will move to x-axis. If you go with double click and hold, click both of them and hold, it will move to x-axis. So let's drag this again. I'll drag this again until you're bored of how I drag, alt drag, alt drag, and alt drag. But hey, the process creates a very nice level. Select this static mesh, so I don't have to. Now I want to make this a little bit bigger. So how do I do this? First, I want to make this a little bit higher. So this is the X, Y, Z. Some I type like 2 here. It's gonna be adjusted. It's gonna be bigger, taller. Now if I use this, check this out. See how the static mesh becomes a lot bigger than usual. And I got several errors here. So I want to delete this unused static mesh because it's not used anymore. I'm gonna delete this in between ones. Let's see if I get this right. And yep. Okay, now I gonna need to adjust this. First to the y-axis. See if I can fit this nicely. And I did. Wow, that's a surprise. Now to adjust this to the x-axis. Okay, fit. And here, see, it fits in nicely. First, because I used the 1224, the power of 2, and you might want to my sound might sound a little bit different. That's because my microphone is on the floor while I'm on the top. It might get a little bit too it doesn't get very clear, but you really need to do this two-handed. So why do I adjust this yellow? It's for the rebuilding process. So you have to fit this to your level. Not really nicely, but make sure it covers the whole level and not get too far, so we don't really make an unused calculation, so it will get faster. Now that we have this level quite finished, a little bit maybe, and I want to add some things here, like a lighting, an actor, point at like point. Adjust this, and I got a very nice lighting. And where does this light come from? Out of nowhere, maybe? No, we can't do that. If you want to be too realistic, you might want to punch the like here, and maybe this will be. Okay. Maybe the SDK static mesh, of course, the user static mesh. Now rotate this, and voila. And see how the level lagged a bit. Let's jump to the unlit boots. Now we have this feeling nasty, but if I jump to lit mode again, it's gonna be laggy again. So just for safety, let's just this to a little bit lower. Now save your level. Like 2 1. Save. It's like saving a document. There is a save as, save current level, to save in the same file. Now build up, and you can have a drink of coffee while you're waiting. Just jump off from this part of video, because it's gonna be a lot of processing. And it runs like mess. Let's see here. You can see the process of the rebuilding. Now see this machines. You can rebuild this with multiple computers connected with a local area connection. But I haven't figured out how to use this. Okay, we're finished. Now let's jump to lit mode. And no lagging here. Why? Because we already built the lighting. It's already calculated, so it doesn't really cost too much memory like the last one. So let's see if we actually created this nicely. Wow. Okay, as much as we would like to continue, I think it's already too long for a tutorial video. But see, we already achieved a lot of things here, like creating a second room, creating a lighting, making a loop that Sonic can walk, but falls if he doesn't have many speed with him. So we need to boost. It's actually because the level is not long enough for him, so you still need to boost. Now, are we having fun? Well, the fun part hasn't started all. So in the next video, I'm gonna show you how to add the actors, so you can have a 2.5D levels, no, 2.5D sections, and add some enemies, and maybe a little bit tweaking with the Sonic. Hey, I'm gonna show you a little bit. Sorry, I can't help it because I haven't really tested this out. Maybe Pawn Sonic click Pawn Sonic Modern, right click, add Pawn Sonic Modern here, and you have Sonic. Now maybe we can click this. Maybe we can really make Sonic really fast. Let's see. I guess we don't really have some way to adjust the sonics, but maybe let's see if it. So I disable the homing dash. Wait, it still can do homing attacks. Well, maybe I should really research this more. Well, at least. Well, maybe we can use this. Oh, maybe I should research. Should research this more. Well, that's all for now. I'll catch up with you in the next video. Thank you very much.